Hi guys, this is Jay Kaushal, writer, motivational speaker and life coach, and I'm back with another brand new video, a much awaited, much anticipated and much appreciated, thanks to you guys, a transit video about a major transit that is taking place as we speak, as you watching this video. A transit of the planet of hard work, the planet of resilience, the planet of struggles, the planet of stamina, the planet of business, the planet of industry, Saturn. And Saturn is transiting into the sign of Pisces. Depending on your rising sign, your sun sign and moon sign, it's going to mean a lot of different things. But in the macros, what it is going to mean is that now everybody is going to have to work on letting go. Letting go is going to be a strong theme for the next 2-3 years, as long as Saturn's in this sign. You have now undergone many cycles of development, depending on what goal you chose in this lifetime, what goal your soul chose before manifesting on this planet. You have undergone many cycles of development and destruction. It is time now. This energy is pointing us in that direction, that it is time now to release and let go of what no longer serves. And this becomes all the more important if you look at the day that this is taking place. The day of Holika. Okay, so Holi is the festival of colors. You guys, probably know it's famous the world over. Indian or not, everybody celebrates it. Everybody knows it. Wherever Indians are, it's the festival of colors, right? But there is something very interesting about Holi that you need to understand. First of all, the day that we celebrate Holi, actually, technically, that's Dhulendi. Okay, the actual Holi takes place on the day of Holika Dahan, which is the Purnima or the full moon of the month of Falgun. Okay, so in the Hindi calendar, in the Vedic calendar, there's a way that we address every month. There's Falgun, there is Ashad, there is Jade, and so on. Okay, so Holi takes place on the full moon of the month of Falgun, and it's very important because on the one hand, our culture has a person that we hold in high regard, Lord Ram, who never went against what his father said. And we have two festivals attributed to such a great person. We call him the model, human being. We have Dashera and we have Diwali associated with this person. This great person who went to the forest for 14 years based on what his father said. And then we have another festival which is very important, especially because it comes at the change of season. And this festival is associated with the person, with a son who never listened to anything that his father said. The devotee Dhruv. Dhruv was the son of great Asur king Hiranyakashyap. And Hiranyakashyap, for all his power, was, as Asuras are, he was a tyrant. And so therefore, the biggest irritation that he had against devotion towards the divine, devotion towards Vishnu. But Dhruv was naturally born with this inspiration to pray to and to be devoted to the power of Vishnu. And there is one thing important that you need to understand about Vishnu. A lot of people don't get it, and I have written it in my articles as well. You can go check it out. I write a lot on Quora. I think I've also made a video about it. I don't know. But when you talk about Vishnu, a lot of people say that, in devoting yourself to Vishnu, there is always the tendency of Vishnu taking everything away from you. That's what his way of loving you is, to take you out of the material plane. That's actually not true. Vishnu is like that lover who says, you love me? Okay, then you better mean it. Because if I reciprocate with my emotions, then I'm only going to think about you. And so Vishnu goes through huge difficulties just to be able to save his devotees. I was about to say client. Just to be able to save his devotees. That's the power of Vishnu. And so, what happened was in this story, and this story is very important with respect to this transit, so pay attention. You can always skip, get straight to the part, but this story is very important if you're watching the introduction. So what happened was that Hiranyakashipu got really mad, finally, that, no matter what I tell this kid, he's not going to stop listening to me. He's going to go on, worshipping Vishnu, who I hate, right? And so the only thing that we can do is we need to kill this kid, tyrant. So this is how he devised a plan that would be the least controversial. His sister, who was also an asura, had the power of being unburned. She had such tantric abilities through sadhana that fire was not able to do anything to her. She was like Daenerys Targaryen, the unburnt. Okay, and so he said that what we're going to do is we're going to have a havan, and that's kind of how the story went. And Dhruv, you sit with your aunt, and it's a very simple process. Nothing's going to happen. You just have to pass through that flame. The idea was that since his sister could not be burned, she wouldn't be burnt. And instead, Dhruv would be the person who would end up getting burned and exhumed. And that would be the end of Hiranyakashipu's troubles. What happened was quite the opposite. Such was the power of the devotion of this kid that he went through the fire, remained unburned, and instead, his aunt, who had been blessed to have no problems with fire at all, got completely burnt. Vishnu took the avatar of a half lion, half man to come and save his devotee eventually. Okay, now couple that up with what this energy means, the importance of letting go, the importance of putting an end to the past and starting fresh, because that is the energy of Pisces. Pisces is about the highest spiritual expression. Pisces is about letting go. Pisces is about everything that is away from this world. When you put Saturn here, you can bet that today or within 24 hours you're going to have some major event in your life, something that is going to be the key for you to enter a new phase of your life while releasing the old. Okay, specifics we're going to get into with the video. Okay, let's talk about the nature of Saturn for a little bit. When we talk about Saturn, you probably think about all sorts of bad things. Okay, because Saturn is associated with delays, Saturn is associated with depression, Saturn is associated with difficulties, struggles, problems, bad luck, all kinds of bad things that you can imagine. Murphy's Law is basically what Saturn is. Whatever can go wrong goes wrong with Saturn. But Saturn is also the planet of great fortune. Saturn is also the planet that makes you invincible. Saturn is also the planet that makes you truly a leader in your field. Any person who is a great in their field, you will usually find that there are two planets associated with such great success that they command. It's usually either Saturn or Ketu. You can check out, charts, numbers, etc. That's your homework. Do that. Why? Because while Ketu represents, the southern of the moon represents your past life karma that you're here to express in a particular way or go through in a particular way, Saturn expresses the biggest challenge that you have before you in this lifetime. He's going to make you great by putting you through those challenges so that you can conquer them and become great. Much like the story of Dhruva. The challenge of his devotion was to be able to devote himself completely to Vishnu. And when he did that, he was able to go through the flame and come out unburnt. And so this is a very important transit. Okay? Saturn is a planet which is not really as much about the bad things, but he is more about the consequences of the bad karma that you've put into effect. If you talk about Saturn reminds me quite a lot of Batman. You know, there is a famous quote by Batman: "Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer." Okay, so that is kind of the energy of Saturn. If you work with it, it has the capacity, it has the ability to make you great. But if you procrastinate it, if you do not work with it, if you try to run away from it, you know, you're going to have all sorts of difficulties with your life. Okay, now let's jump right into the readings. Aries, hi. Aries, I see in your chart that you've been working pretty hard to achieve a lot of goals over the past 7-8 months, and especially for the past 3 years. Saturn had been transiting your 11th house. There's been a lot of changes in the way that you make money. There have been a lot of changes in your personality, your impulsive nature, your life path, your friend circle, your friend group. You know, the kind of recognition that you wish to receive, what recognition means to you, what happiness means to you, what kind of goals do you want to set in life. So there's been a major realignment with respect to most of the themes in your life that correspond to work, livelihood, friendships, and life path. Okay? Now, I see that Mars is still there in the 3rd house, still giving you quite a bit of that energy, you know, to push ahead, to create things, to build things. Okay? The North Node is still placed in your 2nd house. It's going to be there for a while, and it is still giving you a lot of luck, a lot of focus, a lot of good momentum towards building assets. Okay? Focusing on your family, focusing on your speech, focusing on your values. So there's still quite a bit of momentum there. Venus and Jupiter at the moment are transiting through your ascendant, giving you a lot of luck, a lot of optimism, a lot of good emotional times with your relationships in general, or with a specific love interest. Now, in all of this energy, as Saturn transits through your 12th house, as it enters, over the next 2.5, 3 years, as long as Saturn's there in this sign, you're going to encounter the meat of this transit out of all the other zodiac signs, because this is your 12th house. This is everything that has to do anything with the things that you need to let go, the things that you need to surrender, things that you need to grow out of. How you handle isolation, how you handle being on your own. A lot of you people in this period might be going on a long journey. It's quite possible, or you're going to be spending a lot of time working on yourself. You are probably nearing the end of an important cycle, and you will be less interested in going out there making things happen for a while. It's going to be a lot of work that is going to happen behind the scenes over the next 2.5, 3 years. Your focus is going to be more aligned towards working with all of the things that you've been neglecting in this forward push that you've been engaged in for a long time. Okay? So one thing that I would advise you is try to stay away from addictions, because I see that there's a lot of intellectual energy that is coming your way. In the beginning, it's going to be great. In the beginning, it's going to be like a rest. It'll feel nice, it'll feel good, great. But then the more you are in this energy, the more it can get frustrating, and the more you can get used to that sort of a momentum of being, of hanging back, and that can play tricks on your mind. Okay, so all in all, this is not an easy transit for you, but it is a very essential transit for you, because there is something that you've achieved, it seems to me, by working on these things tirelessly for a while. And as these things come to a close, it is time for you to reset, recalibrate, and get back in touch with who you really are within what do you enjoy most? If money was not an issue, if even completing your current projects was not a problem, what would you spend your time doing? What would you spend your time engaging in? So these themes are becoming very important for you, and that is something that you're going to have to be focused on. There is a ton of other things as well that is happening in terms of your career. I see that you have Pluto transiting there, and so that is there is still something with respect to your career. It seems to me that a final piece of the puzzle that you're kind of waiting for, that is going to reveal itself after June as the North Node transits into your first house. Okay, it's going to become very clear. But right now I see that there is a strong need for you to rest, resettle, recalibrate, clear out all the junk, clear out your hard disk space, clear out your phone space, clear out anything that you're not using, release and let go of anything that is not serving you, and build towards your ultimate vision, ultimate destination, because your personality is now needing to change, and this is the time for you to become focused at it. Take it seriously. Otherwise you might have problems when Saturn comes to your first house 2.53 years from now. Okay, so right now is the foundation that you need to set for that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website, look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you'll also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at the chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Taurus, hi. Taurus, you have put in a lot of effort into who you are over the past 15 months. I see that you guys have been a lot at work. You've been at work in your career, you've been at work on yourself, and in this period I see that a lot of people have also gotten into a lot of arguments because of the energy of Mars, which has been hanging around in Gemini for forever, it seems. Okay, there might have been more expenditures compared to what you were comfortable with or wanted to. There could have been some altercations with your dad maybe, or your teachers in some way. It's quite possible your in-laws as well, your family. But in all of this, I feel that over the past 2 years, 15 months to 2 years, over the past period of 15 to 24 months, you have really discovered how far you can push yourself. It's like it's been revelation, what you've discovered about yourself. And I think, you do also have quite a few of the results that have come through these efforts. And you should pat yourself on the back for that, because it's been some great work that you've been doing. I see that Venus and Jupiter right now are stationed in your 12th house. So you're undergoing a time of rest and indulgence, I feel, I'm able to see. This has been going on for about a couple of months or so, I think. It's good, you're enjoying it, it's great. You're basking in the laurels of whatever you've created, and even if the final product as it is right now does not look or looks far from complete, I want you to have patience, because now is the time for you to collect that energy that is still remaining in your system and go for a final push. Because if you can do that, I can guarantee you that Saturn is going to reward you for that. Definitely. I can guarantee that. I mean, obviously, we'd have to still look at specific placements in your chart to be exact, to be really sure about it. But still, I mean, the macro energy for anybody who has Taurus rising, Taurus moon is, it's pretty, it's kind of a no-brainer, okay? Because you see, you have been building a huge foundation, not just over the past 3 years. I see that there's been a lot of work that has been going into whatever you've been creating for a while now. It looks like probably 5-6 years. Some of you have gone to college to be able to do what you wanted to do. Some of you have changed places to be able to do what you wanted to do. Okay? So I see that energy is there, and Saturn now transiting through Pisces in your 11th house. It's going to be tough because you are near, you can feel it, you can sense it, you logically believe it. I've told you to. But when you are making the final sprint on a long distance race, that's when you need to completely get into tunnel vision mode. Any friends that distract you, cut them out. Colleagues that distract you, cut them out. Ways of money that do not correspond to your values and the alignment of your greatest visions, change them. Habits about yourself that are getting in the way, change them. Okay? Unless and until you can make these changes, you are not going to arrive where you are due to arrive. So your arrival is due. The only thing that is standing in the way of your arrival is your state of mind and your mental preparedness to be able to make the changes that you need to make in this final sprint. Okay, so all in all, it's going to be a good transit for you. Right? Don't worry about the day-to-day things, etc., etc. But this is a transit for you that is going to work for you if you work with it. If you are willing to let go of the toxic elements that have somehow coagulated in your life through the things that you've been through over the past few years. I see that there's a lot of toxicity that is built up. How after some point of time you need to take your laptop for a service, you need to take your car for a service, you need to change the oil filters, in case of a laptop you need to put new thermal paste, clean it up and everything. It's the same thing that I'm seeing that is required in your life as well. And it's primarily in the area of how you see this vision manifesting and who are the people that you're going to take in the next phase of your life with you. Because not everybody can come with you to the next stage. You need to understand it. Okay? So this is my message for you, my lovely Taurians. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development, check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website, look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Gemini. Hi. Gemini. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that you guys have been through one heck of a transformation. It's been like one heck of a transformation which has been going on for you. And over the past 7 months, there's been this, energy of a lot of conflict, a lot of ego, a lot of, wanting to do something and create something, but not knowing exactly how to do it. Because Mars has been going direct and retrograde over your ascendant for a while now. So you've probably been, in a passive-aggressive state. You've probably been, finding out ways to express this energy. Maybe you've been getting into conflicts. Maybe you've been traveling a lot. Maybe you were searching for yourself, and trying to discover yourself, question yourself. There's been a lot of exploration which has been going on, especially with the North Node transiting through your 12th house for a while. And so this North Node transiting through your 12th house definitely shows me that there's been a lot of inner work as well that you've been forced to do. Because Geminis, with due respect, tend not to be, that good with it. Geminis want to be, thick of the action, doing things. But when you ask a Gemini to shut up and look within, that's when they often have problems. But you have been made to do that. For the past 15 months, I see that there's been a, strong influence of everything pointing in that direction, that you've been forced to confront a lot of your fears, a lot of your bad habits, a lot of your addictions. And I see that you've done quite a bit, but more needs to be done, more remains to be done. Because what's happening now is that Saturn's transiting through your 10th house. The bulk of the change that had to come about in your ideology, in the way that you think, imagine life, bulk of those changes have come about. Where you are arriving now, this area, this zone, it's going to demand that now you work your butt off to apply everything that you learned in this phase and put it into action. So let's say you realize that your marriage does not work. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to be single for the rest of your life after you get divorced, or are you going to continue to stay in a toxic marriage? What are you going to do about it? Let's say you've realized that you're not, cut out for a specific career. So what are you going to do? Never have a career? Stay in this career and stay unhappy, or gather the courage to go out and build something for yourself that you know you deserve, that you know is more in alignment with who you are. Now is the time for you to work. And what I'm going to say is, the sooner you start, the better. Because you have the support of Jupiter and Venus in your 11th house. And Jupiter and Venus in your 11th house is a beautiful placement. Okay, it's a great placement. Because there is a lot of harmony in connections. There's a lot of harmony in going out, meeting the right people who can help you and assist you in where you want to go and accomplish what you want to do. But you'll only be able to manifest that sort of harmony if you are working your butt off, and start now. If you start now and you gain a little bit of a head start, then you'll get beginner's luck as well in your favor because of the influence of Jupiter and Venus and because of the influence of Mars. Any goals, any plans that you've had, get to it. Yes, the bulk of the results, the early results are going to start trickling in only after you see a change in the nodal axis. That's going to be around about June sometime, after June. I think June 13th. Okay, but before that, it's time now for you to, make some tough choices that have been brewing up in your mind for a while, that you need to make, but that you've been procrastinating because you're fearful of taking action and starting up another conflict. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of this limbo that you've been stuck in for a while. Go out, create the life that you want. Over the next 2.5 to 3 years, in fact, the next 5 years, I dare say, they are great for you if you can focus your mind on achieving what you want. But especially for the next 2.5 years, definitely. Because Saturn in the 10th house, it has a lot of force, because the 10th house is Saturn's own house. Okay, for you, Saturn already controls the 9th house of Bhagya, of fortune. So for Geminis, fortune is what you make it. Simple. Okay. So my lovely Geminis, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you'll also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Cancer. Hi. Cancer. Boy, I think I've said this in every reading that I've done in the past 1 year. That in the past 1 year, Cancer and Leo, these two signs have been working hardest. You guys have been working harder than anybody else. Okay? And I think right now is a sweet sort of period in your career. You are enjoying what you're doing. You are loving what you're creating. You are making some harmonious connections in the area of work, in how people are seeing you, and you're enjoying this new energy of some sort of a change in your workplace. I see. There's going to be an achievement of key objectives as well, which is coming your way. That is coming your way pretty soon, from what I can see, because you have the North Node, aligned with your 11th house, and you're going in that direction full speed. You're like you've been at it for a while, is what I'm able to see. With Mars in your 12th house, that has gone direct and retrograde, for a while now. I see that you've probably encountered a lot of mental stress, anxiety, flashbacks of traumas of the past that have been difficult to release, difficult to let go of. There's been a lot of aggression in your mind as well, because you've been working very hard, and Saturn has been transiting through your 8th house for the past 2.5 years, and like giving you everything that it has. So you've undergone a huge transformation, is what I see here. You've worked very hard. You've worked very hard in your career. You've undergone a lot of lack and difficulties and problems and challenges with respect to your family, with respect to your assets, with respect to your studies, maybe your creativity, love affairs. There have been breakups. There's been everything that has been going on. All sorts of things have been happening. But now what's going to happen is that things are going to shift. With Saturn in the 9th house for you, things are not going to be completely, lucky and awesome. In fact, a lot of people regard Saturn in the 9th house as an unlucky placement. They call it Pitri Dosh. But that's not really the case, to be honest. Saturn in the 9th house now shows that in your case, because you also have to look, when you're looking at the transit of planets, you have to also understand what houses they are ruling and where they're coming from. Okay? So in your case, what is happening is that there was a change in relationships, change in what you were going to tolerate in relationships, and what you put a stop to, that I'm not going to allow this. You cut people out. You went through changes in your values, changes in how you work. You released a lot of those, baggage, emotional baggage that you had, in order to move ahead in life, work hard, move towards where you want to go. And now is the time for you, over the next 2.5 years, to let go of the values that do not work for you. This is not an easy process, but an essential and rewarding one, because everything that you've encountered and gone through and experienced is now going to be put into effect with you changing the way that you look at life, changing the way that you look at the past even. Okay? You're going to forgive a lot of people in this period, because now you're going to be able to see their perspective. Now you're going to be able to see, okay man, I was so angry at this person for doing what they did to me at that point of time, but now maybe I get it, I'm not saying this, go back and hug these people and, wake up. No, don't do that. But you see, forgiving somebody superficially and forgiving somebody from your heart are two different things. Superficial forgiveness is just, forgiveness that is like, it really doesn't mean anything. It's just something that you say to that person to make them feel better, to maintain the peace. Forgiving somebody from the heart is understanding them. I'm not sure about my French pronunciation, but there's something that I read. I think that's how it goes. To comprendere c'est to pardonar. To understand all is to forgive all. Okay? So if you understand a person's point of view, then you will be able to release them, forgive them completely. I see you arriving back, and this is going to be very instrumental in what you are going to be creating within the next few months. I'll tell you why. Because Venus, when it shifts and goes conjunct with the North Node in your 11th, Jupiter already there in your 10th, Mars shifting in the 1st, although that's going to be a while, but still not that long. Mars shifting in the 1st, it's going to be a very good time period for you to manifest a lot of important things that you've been working hard towards. You've been changing yourself, in fact, also to manifest a lot of these things that you've had your eyes on. And this North and South Node axis is going to be working in your favor even after July, because the North Node is going to come into the 10th. It's going to further solidify the gains that you made, and then Jupiter is going to go into the 11th. So everything here is like a very intricate puzzle, I see, and these pieces are moving. And Saturn, although he's probably going to create delays for you in the coming years, in terms of how soon you get things, how soon you receive things, payments, incoming gains, awards, but this is going to be a very important energy in terms of changing you for what you have called into your life. Quite often we say to the universe that why the hell are you giving me these experiences? And the universe says, dude, I'm giving you everything that you need to have and go through in order to get to where you want to get, where you want to go. So you are on path to becoming the person that you've aimed to become for a long while. Just over the next 2.5 years, there's going to be a lot of changes in the way you think. Some of you are probably going to be studying. Some of you are going on a long journey. It's quite possible. You're going to be changing residences. You're going to be relocating for a while. Some of you probably might be getting into a PhD program, professional certification, a higher certification, something of that sort. Some of you are like literally training to be psychologists, or are going to become psychologists in this period. A lot of people are actually in this period also going to be teaching occult, learning occult, finances. So there's a lot of energy of learning, teaching, and changing how you think and how you look at things. Okay? So all in all, I'd say a decent transit for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website, look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk Let's sit across the table, look at your chart, we'll talk about you, have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, my lovely Leos. So, well, the good news is that the worst is over. And the great news is that you're so strong that it doesn't really matter what life throws at you, you can take it. Okay? So I want you to tap yourself on the back for the wonderful transformation that you've gone through over the past 3 years with respect to learning how to do things on your own, with respect to learning how not to trust people, not because they're untrustworthy, but because if you want to do something right, first person that you need to be able to trust is your ability to manifest what you want to create. That is what you've learned over the past 2.5 to 3 years. This is the meat of what you've learned. You've encountered your shadow. You've done a lot of shadow healing. You have uncovered and healed a lot of unconscious patterns. You've successfully undone a lot of patterns of self-sabotage. And you have also found the courage to be able to go for what you truly believe is your worth. Now, a lot of this has happened over the past 15 months because the North Node has been pointed in the direction of your 10th house and you've been going at it, working hard. You know, I want this, I'm going to create this, I need this. That has been kind of your, state of mind. And then Mars has been going direct and retrograde in all sorts of ways in your 11th house for 7-8 months. Okay. It's not complete yet. It's been going that way for, a few months, but the entire transit is going to be for 7-8 months. So it's still in effect. And this energy is pretty much still in effect. You're not done yet. What you're creating is not done yet. I see that there is still a final piece of the puzzle that needs to fall into place. And what Saturn's doing here is now it is telling you where you need to change. Because Saturn now is freeing up all of the energy in your 7th house. New people are going to enter your life. New contracts are going to be signed, new relationships are going to be formed. The old toxic people you've cut out, you've let go, or you've settled your differences with them. Could have been a lot of issues related to your dad, your mother, your family, your spouse. Some people went through a divorce, some people went through a breakup. All of those things you've kind of now put behind you. The only thing left is the energy. There's a lot of residual energy that is still left that you need to release. And this Saturn transit is all about release. That's why this Saturn transit is very important. I said in the intro, a lot of people don't watch it, but if you did, this Saturn transit is very important because it is happening on the day of Holi. And Holi is actually the festival. It is the day where we release all the negative, basically, we light a bonfire and we release everything that, is junk, is not useful anymore. Because Holi has a lot of significance with spring cleaning, kind of like you release all the old energy, you burn it, you celebrate how far you've come, and then you look ahead with optimism. You invite spring into your home. Okay? So now when this Saturn is transiting through your 8th house, it's not going to be a very easy energy to deal with. Let me tell you that. It's going to point you firmly in the direction of where your fears are. What your emotional hang-ups are still that you need to overcome, that you need to outgrow, But from this understanding now, you're going to create some moves in your workplace that are going to put the final piece of the puzzle in place. It's going to change your financial condition as well, and a lot with respect to your romance, creativity, your general approach towards improving your life. Okay, so I see that this energy is going to involve you releasing possibly a past partner, somebody from the past whose energy is still in your vicinity. Doesn't have to be a partner, could be an old friend, could be business partner, spouse, any sort of thing. But there is an important relationship that I'm seeing, or a set of relationships that you're finally going to let go. And when you let go of them, you'll be amazed how they come back into your life as completely transformed. All of this is going to happen within the next 2.5 years. Leos be like, come on, when the hell does this end? We don't want those people back. I get it. I understand. Well, you can't help it. That's how Saturn functions. Saturn has to teach you a lesson. Okay? So the lesson that he's teaching you here is that, dude, let go. Let go. And when you let go of that, you're going to find yourself transforming, your mindset transforming, and you're going to be tapping into your personal power over the next 2.5 years. And it's not going to be easy, as I said, because you will never discover your personal power by lounging on your sofa and surfing channels and eating popcorn. That's not how you tap into your personal power. You tap into your personal power by going out there, trying to make things happen, encountering difficulties, and rising above those situations. So that is pretty much what is going to come towards you. But yes, there's also going to be a gain in relationships, sudden opportunities to let go of your debt, sudden opportunities to pay off your debt, suddenly overcoming obstacles. Okay, some of you are also going to find out some discrepancies in your business finances. It's quite possible. Some of you are suddenly going to win in court cases. Some of you are suddenly going to overpower some conflicts which had been running for a long time. It's like now you've had it. Now is the energy where you've had it for so long that with every other influence in your chart over the next few months, everybody needs to be away from you, because you are in beast mode right now. Okay, and then I see Jupiter and Venus transiting through your 9th house. Beautiful sort of a influence which is taking place here. It's only going to get better, because Venus from here is going to go into the 10th, be conjunct the North Node in your 10th house. That is going to go into the 11th. So at the moment, I see that you're learning something, you're teaching something. There's been a creative sort of resurgence in your energy, which is all beautiful, which is great, which is amazing. Maybe some of you are going to go on a trip pretty soon, or create some content pretty soon, which is going to be very important, I feel. And this content, or whatever it is that you're creating, whatever it is that you're building, making, it's going to attract a lot of people towards you as well. It doesn't have to be content, it can be anything. For if you work in an office, it could be a report or a presentation that you're giving. If you have a business, it could be a new marketing strategy that you're using. If you're a writer, it could be a book. If you're a music publisher, it could be new music that you're creating. Whatever it is, it completely depends on you. Okay? So I would say that this is pretty good energy, great energy. And what you need to focus now is that you need to organize your life in a way that is more consistent with the risks that you're about to take. Because this Saturn in the 8th house is also going to push you towards taking calculated risks. As I said, finding your personal power. It's not going to happen by lounging on your, sofa or chair. No. It's only going to happen by you realizing the true extent of your power and harnessing it with the best efficiency to achieve the objectives that you know you need to achieve, that you deserve. Okay? Amazing. Transformative time period for you, man. Great time period. So that's all from my side. Lovely Leos. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you will be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you'll also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at the chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. My lovely Virgos. Hi. Let's see what's happening in your chart, Virgos. I see that you've been hard at work for the past few months because Mars has been transiting through your 10th house. There's been a lot of restructuring, changes, dynamism, focus, conflicts even. A lot of you exuding your willpower on what you want to create, what you want to build, what you want to develop in your career. Married life, joint finances, those sort of things are going great for you right now thanks to Jupiter and Venus transiting through your 8th house. You're enjoying this nice sort of a phase in your relationships at the moment. Relationships are going great. They have not gone great completely over the past few years because I see that with the previous transit of Saturn through your 6th house, it's been tough. You've encountered a lot of difficulties over the past 2.5 years. Things are finally starting to look up, but I know some of you have been through hell and back. You've silently suffered, encountered so many difficulties, slayed so many demons on your own. Kudos to that. I mean, if nobody has recognized it or given you credit for that, I can tell you, I feel you. I see it. I'm amazed by the level of resilience you have. Great work. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Remember that. Okay? Now, with respect to work, there has been a lot of workaholic energy, especially for those of you who've been undergoing Saturn return in the 6th house. Man, it's been difficult. It's like everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, and you've become a master firefighter. Okay, so now this Saturn transit is coming in your 7th house, and one thing that I need to tell you guys, which is going to bum you out, but it's important for me to tell you what I see. It's time now to get the rats out. Okay? Do I sound like a mafioso? Maybe. But it's time now to get the rats out. There are people in your energy who are depleting you, that you need to let go. There are some contracts that you have that are depleting you, that you need to renegotiate. There is a way that you handle relationships, how much of you give to relationships, that needs to change. Don't get paranoid. What the hell is going to happen? I've only gone through, already gone through a lot. No, don't think like that. Just be mindful of this fact. Because I want to tell you that over the next 2.5 years, any person who leaves your life or who puts you in a position where you have no other choice but to cut them loose, they have it coming. So you need to now take everything that you've learned over the past 2.5 years about grit, about determination, about work ethics, about how people can break their promises, how to handle difficulties, how to fix things, debt, disease, everything that you've learned over the past 2.5 years that has made you stronger. It's now time to embody that strength and become a tougher version of yourself. Okay? You need to turn into a person who stops at nothing. You need to learn to be ruthless. Don't be cruel. Don't be the initiator of cruelty and all of that. No, but you need to understand, when it comes to manifesting the life that you want to manifest for yourself, for your family lineage, for society, for your purpose, you need to have a certain level of ruthlessness. Otherwise, you will not succeed. If you are too soft, people are going to take advantage of you. So toughen up. Toughen up, because the joyride is over. And I know a lot of you are going to say, shut up, stop laughing at our expense. It has been no joyride. No, it has been. To be honest, look, anything that has happened to you in the past 2.5 years, if it's been tough and you still are standing, what does that tell you about yourself? It tells you that you're made of sterner stuff. You're being awakened to your true potential. And all of that is useless unless now you learn to apply it. So you've gone through the syllabus, now it's time to take the tests. Sit for the tests now. Okay? So I see a lot of restructuring coming in your businesses. Those of you who are entrepreneurs, your dealings with people, your marriage, your relationships, contracts. Some of you are going to be changing your home. Some of you are going to be, changing your car, changing your vehicle. There's going to be change in your level of education as well. Those of you who've been wanting to go back to college, you're going to be working very hard. I think a lot of you are already working very hard at some sort of an advanced degree or some sort of an education or certification. I see that you guys, some of you are really focused on that. Good. Stay focused. Use the energy of this North Node, which is pointing in the direction of your 9th house. It's going to be there for a few more months. Use this energy, especially the next few months. Because when Venus goes into your 9th house, conjuncts North Node over there, it's going to give you that much more impetus. So use all of the things that are in your favor right now to go on building and stay, consistent with what you have been creating for a while. But understand that it's time now for you to step into the boss energy. Okay, step into the energy of the boss. If you need help, allocate responsibilities, be rational about it, make deals that are not too lenient, that are fair, and get things done. Don't rely on people too much over the next 2.5 years, I'd say. Rely on your ability to get the tasks done. Okay? Like a general. Saturn in the 7th house is great. But when Saturn is transiting through the 7th house in Pisces, it shows definitely there are some people that you probably also know that you need to let go, or those relationships need to change because they're not healthy the way they are. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this reading, my lovely Virgo. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Libra, hi. Libra, I see that at the moment things are going to improve for you. As I've said on a number of occasions in the videos that I made in the last year, that Librans are going through a particular difficult time. Difficult time with respect to how you improve your life, difficult time with respect to relationships. A lot of you were quite laden with responsibilities, I feel. Responsibilities towards children, towards education, a lack of confidence, feeling blocked in your solar plexus, not being able to express yourself the way that you guys want it. And the North Node's energy, which has been aligned in your 8th house for the past 15 months, 13-15 months, it had been kind of like forcing you to go down and deal with all of the emotional baggage that you had, deal with your relationships, deal with the emotional hang-ups that you had in life. And I now see that is changing. Whatever is happening with respect to the North Node is going to go on. It's going to continue for a little more time. Sudden ups and downs, they are going to take place because they are meant to introduce you to your true potential. Okay? With the energy of Mars in the 9th house, there's been a lot of learning, studying, traveling, gaining knowledge, understanding yourself. That has all been going on as well. I see that. Okay, that's definitely been happening. Okay, but with this Saturn energy, what I see here, now that it's shifting to your 6th house, it's going to free up your expression. You're going to feel really relieved within the next 2 days. Probably you've already begun feeling that way. you're going to be able to feel that I'm able to take the actions that I had been wanting to take for a long while. I'm able to express myself in the way that I had been wanting to for a long while. I'm able to finally do things the way that I had been planning to for a long while. You'll feel this weight of your chest being removed, okay? Because now your attention is meant to be focused on how to improve your life, how to get down to actually doing the stuff, dealing with the problems, taking care of the difficulties that are on the path to create what you want. So there is some vision which was in your head for a while that you had been hanging a little bit back on, because you sensed as well that times are not completely conducive for me to go ahead and grab it. But now you're going to be taking action in that regard, and it's not going to be easy. Saturn in the 6th house is never easy, but Saturn in the 6th house is powerful, because what you're going to realize over the period of the next 2.5 years is how strong you are. You're going to be acquainted with the true level of abilities that you have, of being able to stand up for yourself, being able to face difficulties. If there are relationships that are not working out, you're probably going to end them. You're going to be like, I don't need this. I can, do things on my own. Fine. There could be some conflict related to property. It's possible. There could be some conflict related to what you feel within, that you're going to sort out by putting a lot of work in. So look, the energy for the next 2.5 years for you is about work, 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 work. The only bonus that you have here is you won't feel blocked anymore. You won't feel that you have so much to offer but you're not able to do that. You won't feel that, quotation of the very famous quotation that man's biggest burden is unfulfilled potential. You're not going to feel that anymore. You're going to feel pretty liberated in being able to express yourself. And whenever you begin to do that, difficulties that you encounter, they're just part of the process. If difficulties are in your path, difficulties are the path. You have to embrace them. Okay? So in this respect, I see that a lot of good things are going to happen, because this influence is going to reduce the influence of the sudden ups and downs and the emotional sort of roller coaster that you've been going through with the North Node in the 8th. Things are going to stabilize because you, I feel, are taking some important decision. I don't know what that decision is because it's a very general reading. It's going to be different for everybody. I mean, if you want, you can always take a personal reading with me. The link's given here in the description. Right? But what I see here is that one of the biggest things that's taking place for the next few days itself is that you are taking some important decision. You are now working towards some sort of a plan that you've made. It is quite possible that you made some new alliances, you met a few important people in the past few months. It's quite possible. Or the past few weeks, because there's a very harmonious, beautiful thing going on with Venus, Jupiter in your 7th house. It shows me that you've met a few good people, you've been able to go out there, you've been able to go out and express yourself in a way that has kind of opened you up, has kind of opened you up to imagining what could be possible for you. Okay, so hold on to that positivity. That is great, because what's going to happen is when Mars shifts to your 10th house, which is going to be in a few months, right? You are going to come into a very powerful energy where not only will you have the strength to put your plans into action and follow through, but you will also have the necessary energy and peace of mind to be able to work on that consistently and on a day-to-day basis. Okay, my lovely Librans. So that's all I have for you. One thing that I'm going to say is make a workout plan, make a workout routine, because that seems to be very important for you. A lot of health issues might crop up over the next few years because of the Saturn transit, because Saturn, in the 6th house, go ask Virgo, people, what they've been going through for the past few years, they'll tell you. because Saturn has been going through, their 6th house. So one thing I'll tell you is that with Saturn in the 6th house, anything that is not strong enough is going to break. Whatever can happen will happen if you've not worked on stabilizing it. Because Saturn in the 6th is going to nitpick at your life and show you, look, there's a problem, 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 fix it. Okay, so it would help for you to be on the peak of your physical potential, physical, performance. So go out, build a jogging routine, eat healthy, try to sleep on time. And sleeping on time is very easy. A lot of people often have this problem, we're not able to sleep on time. Well, are you exercising enough? Are you eating well? If you're exercising well and you're eating well, the only thing that's left is to reduce your level of consumption of alcohol and caffeine. If you can do those two things in addition to eating well, because all of those, those things are part of eating well, once again. So if you can do these two things mainly, eat well, sleep well, eat well, exercise well, you'll definitely sleep well too, because everything's connected. Okay? So that's all I have for you, my lovely Librans. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you'll also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Scorpio, hi. Scorpio, I feel that phase of wanderlust which had been going on in your life over the past few years, you're not really feeling settled. Maybe you have problems with your home, maybe you have problems with your car, your mother. There's this lack of nurturing that I feel that you guys have been going through for some time. Not really feeling that, everything's in place with respect to your life. And I feel that with the energy of Mars transiting through your 8th house, a lot of focus has been on you diving deep into the emotional baggage that you have. A lot of you have this tendency of reliving difficult circumstances and difficult memories over and over in your head, and you need to let go of that. Okay? If you have not started meditating yet, if you've not opened yourself up to a spiritual way of life, as I've been advising you all in the previous videos that I've made, it's time you still have time to do that. Because the way that the nodes are arranged in your chart right now, where that all planets are, this is not the time to push yourself hard, but this is not also the time to become complacent and slack off and just give up. No. Take a different approach. Take a more spiritual and a more spirited approach is what I would advise. Difficulties are there. Yes, difficulties are there. Who doesn't have difficulties in their life? And I understand you might be feeling quite demotivated and down, but the only way that you can face a storm sometimes is to rise above it, like the eagle, which is what you've been advised to do, because the South Node, who represents the eagle, has been transiting through your first house. And so I want you to channel this deep energy. Spend time in meditation. Spend time out in nature. Spend time learning something new. Try learning Reiki, crystal healing. If you don't like that, well, try learning pranayama or yoga or tai chi. So these are some things that you are needing to do, because this transit, sorry to be a bummer, Librans hated me last year, now you guys are going to hate me, because I tell you like it is. I want only the best for you, man. So this transit is not going to be easy for you. It's going to be difficult. You're going to feel blocked. It's going to really pull you deep into questioning what gives you happiness in life. What is your true expression? What is truly the life that you want to build? What is truly the kind of life that you desire? A lot of you probably have not thought deeply about those things, but you're going to be forced to think about these things over the next few years. Some of you are obviously going to become parents, and your personality, your identity is going to change because of that. That's there. But I see a huge identity shift coming about for you people in the next 2.5 years. Because Saturn moving through your fifth is going to force you to, and it's actually good for you, by the way. You have it better than the Librans, because Saturn rules your third, is in the fifth. The fifth is third from the third. So it's a very good placement, because now you're going to be finding your true expression. Who really are you? If I take your job away, if I take your designation away, if I take your money away, if I take your status away, who are you as an individual? That is a question that South Node is also asking you. Who are you as an individual? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you value? And what is your message to the world? What are you here to create? Okay? So I see that these are some deep topics that Saturn is going to push you towards. It's going to redirect a lot of you towards, things that you valued in the past, that you enjoyed in the past also. Some of you are going to go back to sketching. Some of you will probably, go back to painting. Some of you are going to go back to art. Some of you are going to go back to making videos. Maybe some of you have been wanting to write a book for a while, and you're going to take action in that direction. But the next 2.5 years have the capacity to drastically change your relationship with power. Drastically change your relationship with how you view what is capable, what is possible for you in your life. The next 2.5 years have the capacity to change that. But the thing with Saturn is, which I said in the intro as well, Saturn is a planet who will work for you if you work with him. If you start writing a book and you write for a few days, and let's say, on the 7th day or the 8th day, you feel that you cannot keep up that ritual, you feel you're not able to consistently, churn out ideas, and you give up, that book's never going to be written. And deep down, if you know, especially that you want to be a writer, and you're shying away from doing the necessary work that is going to take to create what you want to create, you're setting yourself up for frustration. We've all got plans, and sooner or later we need to start working on those plans. But if you are not going to start working on your plans, if you're going to keep procrastinating, if you're going to keep quitting as soon as things get tough, that nurturing that you're seeking within, that safety, that happiness that you're seeking within, it's not going to manifest in your life. That's something you need to keep in mind. Okay? Now, at the moment, I see that there are some indulgences going on. Probably some of you might have taken debt for some reason. It's possible, because you have this Jupiter-Venus influence going on in your 6th house. Some of you might even have just got a new pet, gotten interested in gardening. Some of you are just, elbows deep in a lot of work. It's a workaholic kind of phase that you're in. But whatever it is, I feel that there is a new routine that you seem to have sort of begun, and if you stick with it, it can work pretty well for you. Okay? But just remember, if you give up as soon as things start getting difficult, knowing well that you want them, that's not the way that you'll ever be happy in life. And over the next few years, Saturn is really going to challenge your ideas of happiness. It's like you are finally being pushed to stop bullshitting yourself and come clean about this is what makes me happy. This is my life, and I'm going to change it so that I can be happy. I'm going to value this, because if I do not value this, then I have no, I have no right to complain. Okay? So, my lovely Scorpions, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. My lovely Sagittarians. Hi. My lovely Saggies, I see that there have been a lot of interesting changes in your life. One thing that I see for sure is that relationships, sexuality, contracts, business, this has been a very active area over the past few months because of the energy of Mars through your 7th house. I feel that you've been actively meeting a lot of people. There have been a lot of people coming into your life. There's been a lot of activity in the area of your relationships, the people that you're meeting, the interactions that you're having. Okay? Saturn had been transiting through your third house for a while, and I feel definitely that over the period of the last few years, you have definitely worked very hard to develop a set of skills that you're now ready to utilize and put into action. I see that you have undergone a lot of difficulties, you have undergone a lot of change over the past 3 years. Your addictive behaviors may have increased as a way of compensating for all the work that you had been needing to put in, for all the difficulties that you have been needing to encounter, face, challenge, and rise above. Some of you, however, have found the necessary resolve to let go of any addictive behavior in this time period. If you have, wow, that's amazing. Like, that's really great work. For a lot of you, a lot of these addictions that I'm talking about are probably not serious addictions like drug addictions or such. But they could be, things like addiction to caffeine, or addiction to a particular way of thinking, addiction to a particular way of thought. Maybe you have been imagining the worst and that has been working in your favor by pushing you forward. Some people do that. But now is the time for you to kind of change all of that, because I see that you've done a lot of hard work, and in doing a lot of this hard work, you've been very persistent. But if you've noticed, obviously you must have, in the past few weeks there has been this new influx of a gentle energy with respect to love, with respect to creativity, with respect to happiness, with respect to relationships, with respect to knowledge, learning, entertainment. And now that is opening up your mind, I guess, to what you really value and what you really want in your life and what you no longer are willing to tolerate. Okay? So in this respect, what you need to do now is, you need to start focusing on your internal happiness. Because no matter how much work you put in to create the kind of life that you want to create, build the kind of dreams that you've always had, at the end of the day, it is about you building a life that you are happy living. As long as you are not happy with the kind of life that you have, as long as you feel that there is a lack within, as long as you do not feel stable in where you are going to find that there is no end to the desires and the work that comes along with every desire. Because I see that there's been a lot of desire. There's been a lot of this energy of desire. So you need to kind of segregate those desires and make sense of what they mean, what they're trying to tell you. Because any desire that you have to then work to fulfill it, to create it, to manifest it, and it's like choosing where you are going to invest your energy. So Saturn over the next 2.5 to 3 years is really going to challenge your ideas of stability, your internal happiness, your relationship also probably with your mother, your place of residence. Some of you might be changing homes, some of you might be going away, some of you might be changing cars. But mainly this is going to be a change over the next few years which is going to come about internally. You're going to kind of feel that there needs to be a change in your personality to bring yourself in alignment with what you truly want in life. And so you're going to be working a lot on yourself over the next few years. Every time Saturn goes retrograde in your 4th house, once it goes direct and then it goes retrograde, every time, it's going to weigh down that much more heavily on you. You're going to become very conscious of what you can do, but you're not doing. So I see that there is a lot of time period of, work that is coming up ahead for you. But it's not difficult because you've done the bulk of the work that you had to do over the last few years. Now it's just about doing the internal work so that you can maintain what you've built. And this is also going to test to a huge extent. What is the level of detail? What is the level of foresight? What is the level of planning that you had put into what you had created earlier? Okay? So, enjoy this good period that you are in right now and start planning for a more stable future. But, for you to define a non-toxic idea of what stability is going to be, what stability looks like, you need to first answer the tough questions about what doesn't feel stable, what threatens you, what makes you feel less than, what makes you feel that you lack something. So journaling definitely can help a lot, but there are a lot of internal ways of thinking and feeling that you're going to have to let go. And unless and until you release those emotions, you're not going to find the necessary clarity to create an effective roadmap on how to move forward with your life. Okay? So yeah, this is just something that I see here in your chart and I wanted to share. Please do not forget to check out the other readings also that are here on this channel. I post a lot of different kind of content. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website, look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Capricorn, hi. Capricorn, Saturn is a planet that rules your ascendant. Saturn rules your sign. So this transit becomes very important for you. Because, on the one hand, it is creating problems for you, but on the other hand, it is also a necessary path to the development of you as a person and taking you to your highest potential. For example, I see that in previous 2-3 years, you might have felt a lot of difficulties with respect to your family, with respect to your values, maybe with respect to your eyes or teeth, savings, assets. But you've also built a lot of knowledge over the past 2.5 years, 3 years. You know that Saturn has been transiting through your second house. You've also built a lot of knowledge about assets, about money, about stability, about foundations, about family, about your values. And so, although this transit, the one that you've just gone through, where I see had a lot of difficulties with respect to money, assets, home, quite possibly family, incoming gains. For anybody else, this Saturn transit would have been a lot more difficult to navigate. But with you, going with your step-by-step Capricornian patient nature, it has taught you a lot. Now you will see is the time that you're going to be taking everything that you've learned and putting it into action over the next 2.5-3 years, building what you always wanted to build, creating what you always wanted to create. Okay, it's like a time of tireless work, travel, learning, upskilling, education, communication. You guys are going to be working on something and finding kind of your niche over the next few years, as long as Saturn's there in that side. At the moment, I see that there could be health problems that you're going through. There could be things that are happening in your personal life that are kind of putting you off, or maybe you've built a new schedule to stay on top of things. A lot of you have, a lot of you probably haven't. A lot of you are still trying to get on top of the excess of energy that Mars has brought into your 6th house. Some of you in this period might even have lost a pet. Some of you in this period might have encountered some difficult health problems. But whatever it is, it has once again made you strong. So I see that in the private part, in the personal part of your life, you guys have been constantly hit with energies that have been forcing you to grow, forcing you to find stability, forcing you to deal with things that need your attention at home, family, personal life, mental peace, personal peace, finances, creativity, studies. But it is the influence of these energies also which has made you strong, which has built you up in a way that you're going to now see the results of. The results are not going to come very fast. Let me be clear, not give you any false hope. It's going to take a while. But you will begin to see a lot of these influences shape up within the next couple of days. Some important beginnings are going to be made. Some important skills, some important journeys, some important project that you're beginning or that you're returning to, it's possible. You're letting go of some skill, you're letting go of some habit. You are also letting go of some friendships in this period. Like it's the final straw. You have, you're ending things with some friends. That's it. Done. I don't want to be, talking to you guys. I don't want to be dealing with your mess. Let me focus on my life. Let me focus on my skills. But whatever it is, since Pisces is a sign which has a lot to do with letting go, releasing, this new energy is coming with you simultaneously releasing an old energy. There is some activity that you're constantly involved in that you're going to stop doing, or you've been thinking that I need to stop it, but you just, you're so much in your comfort zone with respect to it, you haven't really found the impetus to make that change. And what I'm seeing is that the impetus to make that change is here. It's going to come knocking on your door tomorrow, probably. Okay? For some of you, quite literally. In this period, be very careful about your communications. Be very careful how you talk to people. Be very careful how you interact with people. Be very careful how you talk to your neighbors. Because you might come across as pretty brash. You might be misunderstood. You might, there might be some important details which are not given to you about things. Any documents that you're going through, go through them in detail. Any documents that you're filling out, go through them in detail. This is a time for you to be hard at work, getting on top of the organizational part of your life. This is a time to get things done, put things into action. And in this respect, the North Node is helping you out, because North Node is transiting through your 5th house. It's going to give you a lot of access to a lot of knowledge, education, learning, expression, happiness. Jupiter, Venus, transiting through your 4th house is also good right now. It's creating a very calm, peaceful, harmonious environment at home with respect to assets. Maybe some of you just bought a new laptop, new phone, new clothes. Some of you just probably changed homes or got some renovation done. It's quite possible. If not, there is a chance that you might. But these influences are going to build on top of each other, as you see in the next few weeks. As Venus shifts to the 5th house, conjuncts the North Node, you will see a resurgence in your creativity, romance, happiness, all those things. Jupiter as well is going to be very favorable for you when Jupiter shifts to the 5th house. All of that is there. Mainly, but what this Saturn is doing for you is that the Saturn is telling you now is the time to take action, dude. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to finally take things into your hands and start working for what you've always wanted to create. You've had some sort of a dream in your mind for a long time. And the previous 2.5 years, they've only reinforced that dream in your mind, that plan in your mind. And now is the time to go out there, make things happen, perfect your craft, become better at it, become good at it. Practice, hone those skills is what I'm seeing. Okay? So all in all, I'd say a pretty good time period for you guys. Just take care, about your communication. All communications, just take care. What you're reading, what you're studying, what you're saying, what you're relaying. And one thing that can help you a lot in this time period is working with lapis lazuli crystal. Yeah, lapis lazuli crystal can be great for you. It'll help you open up your throat chakra. It'll help you say the things that you want to say. It'll help you express yourself the way you want to express yourself. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website, look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. Sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. My lovely Aquarians, hi. Aquarians, you are Saturn's Mool Trikona sign. What that means is you are actually the sign that is closest to Saturn. Saturn loves Aquarius. Both things go pretty well together. Saturn is a gas supergiant. You guys will know if you look at it astronomically. When you talk about Aquarius, Aquarius is an air sign. And when you put these energies together, you see that Aquarians have a very expansive view of life, of things. Their perspectives are sometimes very unorthodox, very out of the box, because here you will find Saturn's energy at its creative best. So over the past 3 years, you have 2.5 years, you have been working pretty hard on yourself and bringing your qualities to the fore. There's a lot of self-work I see that you guys have done. There's a lot of internal work as well that you guys have put into your lives over the past 15 months. There's a lot of creativity also that I'm seeing that has been, at a resurgence over the last 7 or 8 months. A lot of harmonious interactions have been also going on with respect to your third house. People that you're meeting, that you're talking to. New relationships have come into your life. Things that you've, gained or been able to build. There have been some major developments with respect to wishes that you had been, just praying for a long time. But I see that your work is far from complete, because what's going to happen now is there's a little bit of a challenge which is coming your way. But don't be afraid, because Saturn is your planet. You are Saturn's child. So any sort of difficulties that come your way is just Saturn's way of teaching you how to be who you are meant to be. There's this famous quote: life is only testing us to see if we are truly who we claim to be. Okay? So your focus is going to shift from yourself now to family, assets, money, values, home. A lot of it is also going to focus on how you make money. What kind of things do you want in life? What kind of things do you expect in life? What kind of friends do you want to attract into your life? And what kind of friends do you want to let go of your life now? But a lot of this transit is going to have to do with how you make your money, how you earn your living. And so I see a lot of few people, maybe you've already been planning to, but over the next few days and weeks, this energy is going to peak as soon as Saturn enters. Probably it has already come into effect. Is that a lot of you are going to change what you do. You're going to change your work. You're going to change how you do it. And you are going to shift to something that is more in alignment with your highest truth, more in alignment with what gives you the room to be as creative, as expansive as you can be. It's not going to be an easy process because you're going to have to let go of a lot of values to be able to make this shift. I see that there are some stringent values probably that you're going to come across in this process of change. Difficulties and problems which have been passed down through generations in your family. And you are going to have to break out of those constructs. Remember, you are not always somebody who has to follow in the footsteps of people who've come before you, no matter how great they were. Every generation also has a responsibility of showing the path to the previous generation. And unless and until you do that, you are not going to be able to create the life that you want. Because sometimes, even if your vision is great, even if your vision is grand, it's quite possible that the people around you, your family, people you love, who probably that you're building that for, are the first ones to resist it because they have a lot of inertia, they have a lot of difficulty following you, they have a lot of difficulty adapting to your vision and changing how it is going to demand change. Okay? So I would say that you need to be focusing now a lot more on taking a more compassionate route towards whatever it is that you seek to manifest in your life. Be filled with more compassion. If somebody cannot understand their point of view, I'm not saying handle abuse or straight away cut them off. No, be a little bit tolerant. You can distance yourself, but go about creating what you want to create the way that you've envisioned that you want to create it. And citrine and rose quartz can help you attract a lot of good luck in your life. Those energies can be great for you. Okay. Now, with respect to your career, you have the South Node transiting through the 10th house, so probably you're not finding the kind of satisfaction that you want from your career, and that has been the biggest driving factor in this change that probably you're seeking to make. So for you to be able to shift into this new energy, you need to stop worrying about losing a job or stop worrying about losing authority. You need to stop worrying about losing anything that is there. Stop worrying about losing anything. Understand that at this point of time, your focus needs to be internal. That's where you need to find the stability. If anything comes up in the career, if anything comes up on the work front, you can handle it. You can take care of it. Okay? When you approach this transit, this shift in energy through this mindset, you will find that things are going to become a lot easier for you to manifest. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out. And push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you tend to travel here. We can sit and talk. Sit across the table, look at the chart, and talk about you. Have a whiteboard session. Okay. Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. My dreamy Pisces. Hi. Pisces, first of all, happy birthday, because this is Pisces season. And great things happening for you right now. I'm seeing good developments with respect to your confidence, how you're feeling, your ability to take action. There's a lot of movement which is going on here, I see in your chart. Good time period with respect to assets, money, finances, because there's some good developments taking place in your family. Family environment is good. There might be some problems with home, okay, in terms of your home living situation, your car maybe, your laptop, your clothes and conveniences, your things like that. A few things may be undergoing a lot of change, because that's because of the influence of Mars, which has been transiting there for quite a while now. So but all in all, I feel that you are kind of in a phase right now where you're enjoying good food, good drink, in a talkative sort of mood, feeling happy about life. Now, there have been a lot of things that you've had to let go over the past 2.5 years. That, in fact, around about this period. Since Saturn had been transiting your 12th house, so you have been silently behind the scenes going through a lot. Maybe you felt isolated. Maybe you felt isolated. Maybe you felt a little bit blocked in terms of being able to think, being able to imagine, being able to find comfort. It's also quite possible that you've had to stay a bit on reserve, because there were a lot of actions that you had been wanting to take, but you probably were not in a position to take those actions, or you felt that there's still things that I need to think about before I can commit to this, whatever it is. Okay, so now Saturn is moving to your first house, and everything that you had been thinking about, that you had been contemplating, that you had been working hard to let go, that you have been dealing with, everything that has been going on in the background in your mind silently, now you're going to be faced with the reality of whatever that is. You're going to have to bring about changes in yourself if you want to manifest whatever vision you have. Whatever ideas have crystallized in your mind through this time period that you've gone through, now seems to be a very ripe energy to put those plans into action, to manifest them. But this is going to demand change, and change is never easy. Change is difficult, but remember, you don't have to make change all at once. You just have to change one step at a time. So you have to build a better relationship with discomfort. Start waking up a little bit early or at a fixed time, depending on what your schedule is, what is required of you. Start walking a little bit more. If you normally have a cappuccino, try a latte. If you normally have your coffee with sugar, try some with a little less sugar. Try tea. But your focus now needs to be to become a better version of yourself. Because the hard taskmaster is here. Saturn is here. He's going to be on top of your ascendant. He's going to play with your ego. He's going to play with your self-respect. He's going to play with your capabilities. He's going to play with your health. He's going to play with everything that you define yourself with. But here's the catch. I talked about this in the introduction as well. Saturn is a great planet if you are willing to work with Saturn. Imagine a subject that you suck at. And let's imagine that the teacher who is teaching that subject is the best teacher in the entire college, in the entire university for that subject. What's going to happen? He's not going to let you go. He's going to make you study. That's what good teachers do. Good teachers don't just let you go. Good teachers think that it is my responsibility for as long as I'm taking this course to teach you something, so that even though you may be pathetic at it, you still go away from this course with some understanding, some knowledge. And I'd like to share something very important, which is very, very relevant to a lot of themes that you're going to encounter in the next few years. When I was in college, I think I've talked about this in another video as well, but here we go again. When I was in college, I often used to be late. That was kind of what my persona was back then. I'd be late for everything. First I was fashionably late, then I was terribly late, and I had been going through a lot of mental health issues, etc. But to be honest, now that I look back, I didn't really have a lot of excuses for being as late as I was. Besides the fact that I was probably quite nonchalant about life. And so there was this teacher in our college who liked me, but he was really irked with this habit of mine to always come late. He spent the entire semester telling me the importance of coming on time. And he spent another semester telling me the importance of coming on time. He was actually our training and placement officer. Okay? Finally, what happened was, in my final examination, I was late for the exam. Now, this is actually a subject that I had studied hard for. And I had been studying hard for that subject for a while. And in this case, I really was quite tensed. And so that is why I was trying to cram in as much as I could before I reached the exam center. I was, I think, 20 minutes late. And 20 minutes late is something, you can allow a person to enter, because the cutoff time is 30 minutes, although, legally it's 15 minutes, that's what they say. He did not allow me entrance to the examination hall, and he told me specifically that the reason that I'm not allowing you to enter today is so that you understand the importance of time and you never forget this lesson. I can tell you one thing for sure, that any time in my life since that point that I have been late, or I have been in a position where I could get late for something important, an important meeting, important class or something, that episode always, has been there, sticking to the back of my head, reminding me that this is what can happen ultimately. You might lose an opportunity of a lifetime, if you don't push yourself. So it's going to be hard, but if you push yourself, you are going to become so much better over the next 2 or 5 years. You're going to still feel the effects, you probably must have already started feeling the effects, but over the next couple of years, you're going to you have the ability to do so much more. You have the ability to improve your willpower, improve your ability to put in the work, improve your communication, improve your ability to follow through on your plans, your goals. But all of this is only going to happen if you keep an open mind with respect to the process of change. That is the most important thing. Change is not going to come by suddenly. So pace yourself, and I would say make a plan for everything that you want to fix in your life. Because the way that I see it, the time up ahead is going to be most conducive for you to bring about the necessary change in your personality, in your character, and your life path. The time period is going to be right for you to take control of your life and mold it, shape it, and direct it in the way that you want. Recognition is going to come to you. Gains are going to come to you. Everything that you require is going to come to you, provided you can let go of the habits, the patterns of self-sabotage, the negative mentality that is keeping you stuck, that is preventing you. Okay? So thank you so much, my lovely Pisceans, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post. I post a lot of different kinds of content here. There's a lot of stuff here about self-help, spirituality, self-development, personal development. Check it all out and push the bell icon so that you will be notified every single time I post. Please remember that these are general readings. If you want specific guidance based on your specific chart and taking into account your personality, your life path number, and even your handwriting, even a lot of other metrics that I take into account in my life coaching sessions, please check out the link given in the description here to book a personal life coaching session with me. You can just go check it out on my website. Look at that session, try to understand it, look at the reviews. I've had a lot of success with that, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've brought about a lot of important change in people's lives, by employing those tools and those methodologies. Okay, so while these are general readings, I don't really prescribe to the view that Vedic astrology is entertainment. Yes, we have to put that in the category, we have to use that as a disclaimer. But if any of you go through my Nakshatra videos, you're going to find out that it's much deeper than that. And if you go through my other self-help videos, you also realize that changing yourself is also much deeper than that. Go through my articles on my website, on Quora. There's a ton of content that you should read. Especially in my articles, you'll find I mention a lot about the various things that we need to look at and understand when we are looking at the energies of the chart. Sessions are open right now. You can also meet me in person if you are in and around Delhi, or you intend to travel here. We can sit and talk. I'll sit across the table, look at your chart, and talk about you, have a whiteboard session. Okay? Check everything out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.